Okay, so to continue on from the previous lesson, what I want you to do is go ahead and do Shift middle mouse button and focus in on the foot. Now do the middle mouse button to rotate your view. Now what you want to do here is simply to make sure that you click on the m.foot.fk.l. Now just press the R key to just rotate this bone like this. Now here what we're going to do is click on this bone, press the Shift key down, then click on this one, do Shift Control C, and here we're going to do copy transforms. Then click on this bone, press the Shift key down, click on this one, do Shift Control C, and now just do copy transforms. Okay, so this will get the foot working. Now here just press the A key to select everything and just do Alt R to reset the rotation. Now press the A key to deselect. Now here what I want you to do is click on this bone and just do the middle mouse button. Now the question is going to be, how is this even working, right? Because here you can see that what we're doing is simply copying the rotation of this bone, and then we are overriding the way the bone points with a damped track. So if you actually turn this off, you'll see that this bone is going to simply copy the rotation of the foot, right? If you turn the influence like this, that's what it's doing. So here we're saying we only want basically a little bit of the rotations, then we're using damp track to force the bone to track to this bone. This is how this concept is working. So if you go ahead and click over here until you get to the m.foot.fk.l and press the 1 key. Now when you press the R key and press the Z key, this is what gives us the ability to create this natural movement on the ship. So that's how that concept works. So go ahead and zoom out and do Shift middle mouse button, and let's focus in on this area over here. Now what you want to do is go to the data tab over here, press the Shift key down and turn on the touch bones. Now here if you click on the hip.touch and press the R key, you will see that however the hip rotates, the leg will follow. So here we're going to add a special functionality where we don't want this to happen on the legs, right? We should be able to turn it on or off. So to do this, what we need to do is actually switch to edit mode. Now here what we're going to do is simply change the way the parent-child relationships are going to happen. First go ahead and click on the head of this bone, and here we're going to press the E key to extrude out a bone. And here we're just going to press the Z key to align it along the Z axis. Just put it up over here, click this and press the Y key to sever all the connections. Then let's go to the bone tab and turn off the deform over here. Now here what we want to do is call this m dot thigh dot socket dot L and enter. Okay, now what we need to do is make sure that the m.thigh.fk.l is the child of this bone. Okay, so right now you can see that it's going to the depth.hips. So we're going to press the Shift key down and click on this bone over here. In here we're just going to do Control P to do keep offset. Okay, so what exactly does this do? So right now what we're going to do is switch to pose mode and go ahead and click this. Now press the R key. So when we rotate, you can see that we basically dislodged this bone. Okay, now in order to make this work correctly, we actually have to create another bone which will become the hip socket. So go ahead and switch back to edit mode over here. Go ahead and click on the head of this bone, and here I'm just going to zoom in, press the E key and press the Z key and just extrude out another bone. We can make this a little bigger over here. Now click on this bone and press the Y key to sever the connections and make sure that the deform is off over here. And here we're going to call this m dot hip dot socket.l and enter. Now, this bone needs to be the child of the actual non-hip deformed bone. So to get to that bone, we're actually just going to go ahead and click on, actually let's just press the shift key and turn this off so we can see what's going on. So having this bone selected, press the shift key down, and you want to make sure that you click on the m.hips.c. Here we're going to do Control P and do keep offset. Okay, so this bone is simply going to travel with that bone. Now go ahead and press the shift key down and turn all the bones back up, and here we're going to switch to pose mode. So when we click on this, press the R key, you will see that that new bone that we created will travel wherever the hip goes. Okay, so now what we need to do is simply tell this bone over here is to first copy the location of this bone. So go ahead and click this, press the shift key down, click on this one, do shift control C, and here we're going to do copy location. So now when you click this and zoom out a bit, press the R key, you will see that basically we're creating a socket, a joint. It gives us the ability to do this to the leg. That's the first concept. Now here, what I want you to do is first click on this bone, make sure that it says hip.socket, and here we're going to press the M key and make sure that it's on the correct layer, which it is, right? It should be part of the non-deformed bone layer, and click on this bone, press the M key and make sure that it's also on the correct layer. Now, in order to add that functionality where we were getting the legs to travel wherever the hips were going, we're simply going to click over here, press the shift key down, click on this bone again, do shift control C, and here we're just going to do copy transforms. Now when you click over here, press the R key, you'll see that it just works the way it was before. So go ahead and just rotate it like this. So this means that if we go to this bone, go to its constraints, if we turn off the copy transforms, you'll see that it'll just turn off. Okay, so this means that we're going to add a driver to this transforms. So here what I want you to do is right click and do add a driver and just do manually create later. So now the question is, where do we put this driver, the ability to turn this off and on? Of course we're going to have to do this on the touch bone. So just press the A key to select everything, just do Alt R to reset the rotation. So what we're going to do now is bring the touch bones into play. So let's go ahead and go to the data tab over here. Now press the shift key down and go ahead and turn on this layer, which should have our thigh.touch.fk. Okay. Now what we want to do here is actually add a property. So let's go ahead and go to the bone tab, click on add, click on edit, and here we're just going to call this, we're just going to call it leg follow hip. Okay, and here it should be just set to 1, minimum is 0 and maximum is 1, and just click OK. Now here when we scroll down, it should be right here, so just right click and do copy data path on this one. Okay, now let's go ahead and bring up the graph editor, go to drivers, and of course we have to select this bone over here, click this, open this up, click on drivers, and here we're just going to expand this, and over here we're going to do single property, click on the armature, do Control V over here, and here you can just type in VAR. Now the thing you should know here is that you don't always have to type in VAR here, right? You can, when you know that all you're really doing is copying the data from here, you can simply switch this to average values if you want. It'll still do the same thing, right? So here if we switch this to average values, do update dependencies. Now when we click over here and press the R key to rotate, click on this bone, scroll down and turn this off, you'll see that it does the same thing. Okay, so when you are, let's say, doing some kind of math, then you can do scripted expression. But an easier way is to just do average value. So I'll leave that idea up to you, right? You can see that if we switch to scripted expression, when it's a variable, it'll still do the same thing. So over here, if you click over here, you'll see that it functions the same way. Okay. So let's go ahead and click this. In here, we'll just say that in this case, we'll just do average values. Okay, and make sure you click on update dependencies, and let's go ahead and close this. Now here, go ahead and press the A key to select everything. Do Alt R to reset the rotation. So now we got that working. So what we want to do is now basically set up the touch bones so we can use them to drive the non-deform bones. So first, let's make sure that we only have the non-deform layer selected. Press the Shift key down and go ahead and select the touch bones. And go ahead and switch to edit mode. Now, of course, if we want this to work, we have to make sure that this bone over here, its parent is going to be the same bone over here, which is the parent of this bone, right? So if you go to the bone tab, you can just make sure, hover your mouse at this is the thigh dot socket. So go ahead and click on this bone, press the Shift key down, click on this one, do Control P, and here you're just going to do keep offset. This is something we have to do if we want this feature to work. Now here, all we have to do is now actually switch to pose mode first, and first we have to set up the copy transforms. So what we're going to do is first click on this bone, press the Shift key down, click on this toe bone, do Shift Control C and do copy transforms. Click on this one, press the Shift key down, click on this one, do Shift Control C, do copy transforms. Now notice how we're doing this, right? We're now using the touch bones to drive the mechanical bones, right? Click on this one, press the Shift key down, click on this one, do Shift Control C, copy transforms, and lastly, click on this one, press the Shift key down, click on this one, do Shift Control C, and do copy transforms. Now here, we're just going to switch to edit mode, and go ahead and select all of these bones over here, press the 1 key, and of course here we're just going to press the Control key down, click on this red arrow, and move everybody here back to the way they were. Okay, so now over here, if you go to the data tab and just click on the touch bones, go to pose. Now here, if you click this, press the 3 key, press the R key, you'll see that it works just fine. Okay, so here we'll just quickly test this out. Now go ahead and press the A key, do Alt R. Now if you click on this foot bone, press the 1 key, go ahead and zoom in, press the R key, press the Z key, you'll see that the shin rotates. This is what we want to see. And if we click on this bone, press the R key, press the Y key 2 times, and here we'll get that natural movement for the leg. Okay, so we've got that set up. So let's go ahead and now go under File, do Save As, and we're going to save this as Rigging Lesson 03 v.blend. Okay, so what we're going to do now is set up the bone shapes. So go ahead and click on this bone, do Shift S, do cursor to select it, go ahead and pen down, do Shift A, and here we're just going to add a circle. Go ahead and do the middle mouse button to rotate a bit. Now click on this bone, press the Shift key down, click on the circle, do Shift Control C, and here we're going to do copy transforms. Go ahead and zoom out, click on this circle, do Control A, and do visual transform. Now go to the constraints over here, just turn this off to make sure that it took it. We can just go ahead and now remove this. Now here we're going to call this W dot thigh dot touch and enter. Okay, now here in the object mode, the .L and the .R is really not going to do anything, but just for us, so it makes sense when we create the other side, it's a good idea to just add in .L. Here on the object level, this is just going to be a naming convention for us. Okay, so go ahead and click this, and here we want to go to the bone tab and click this, and what we're looking for over here is the thigh. So here this is w thigh.touch.l, and it showed up here over here. Go ahead and click, make sure that you're in object mode, press the S key and just scale this down first. Okay, now here we're going to make sure that we have the X-ray enabled so we can see through this. Now what we want to do is go ahead and press the 1 key, press the tab key to go into edit mode, and let's just go ahead and scale this down quite a bit over here first. Now here what we're going to do is go ahead and make sure that this is switched to local, press the 3 key, and over here what we want to do is first actually rotate this. So go ahead and press the R key to rotate, press the control key down, and make sure that you are rotating by 90. So here I'm just going to type in 90 over here. So you'll see that when we press 90, it's actually not perfectly horizontal. This is because the bone is not perfectly vertical, basically what this means. So here you can actually right click to cancel that and press the R key and just do it your way, right? Just align it kind of like this over here. Now here what we want to do is actually move this down. So here I'm just going to press the G key and first move it down to somewhere around here. This is where I want it. Again, you can press the tab key to go into object mode. Now over here, because the bone is pointing down, this is where the y-axis is pointing. This is what we want. So here we're just going to press the G key and move this over here a bit just to kind of align it. So it looks like this. Now here, just press the 1 key and press the tab key. Go ahead and just do the middle mouse button a little bit. Now you know that it's going to be this vertex and this vertex. Press the F key so you get that line. Now here I'm going to actually scale this in a bit. So I'm going to press the A key, press the S key to scale this quite a bit over here. Press the 1 key and just tinker with this a little bit until you are satisfied with it. Doesn't have to be that big, okay? As we are using X-ray on the bones anyways. I'm going to go ahead and press the tab key, go ahead and click this, press the 3 key, and just make sure that I'm satisfied with this. So here you can see that it's kind of a little short over here, so I'm going to take a look at what we can do about this. So let's go ahead, click on this, press the tab key to go into edit mode, press the 3 key. I'm just going to press the G key to first and move it over here, press the S key to scale this out just a little bit, press the tab key, click over here, just make sure that if I'm happy with this, I might actually just click this again and press the S key to scale this out just a bit more. Okay, so this is satisfactory over here. So let's go ahead and click on this object, press the M key, and just throw this on this layer. Now click on this and press the M key, and let's put this on the touch bone layer over here. Okay, now go ahead and press the 1 key. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pick this up in the next lesson. So just go under File and Save. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.